Welcome to the Money Mindful podcast, where money mindset and life coach Meaghan Jean Smith, hey, that's me, teaches you how to transform your relationship to money and achieve your life goals so you can live a glorious, magnificent, delicious, awesome life and love being you. Hello, and welcome to the Money Mindful podcast. I am your host, Meaghan Jean Smith. As you probably heard in the intro, I'm a money mindset and life coach for women. If you want help to transform your relationship with money and create those delicious money and life goals of yours so you can live a life that you absolutely love hard, you are in the right place, because that is what I help you with on this podcast. I got a bit of a different one for you today. Changing things up a bit, we're going to use some running analogies. So I hope you're into running. And if not, just follow along, join in for the fun, because this is going to help you with your money and life goals. So I have been working on a new running goal. I've been wanting to get back into running, and I've been in the process of doing this goal. And actually, by the time this comes to air, I probably would have reached this goal, but I'm right in the thick of it right now. And I wanted to share with you some lessons that I have learned from my running coach and how you can apply them to creating your money and life goals. So let's just jump straight into it, shall we? So the first lesson that I want to share with you is that it's always hard in the beginning. I don't know about you, but when I put my runners on and I head out, I sort of feel a bit sluggish at the start. And in fact, there's this one part near my house where, because I go to this nature reserve area to run. I love running in nature, but there's this hill that I have to run up through suburbia to get there to this beautiful spot. And man, it feels hard. It feels slow going. It feels hard to get going. And not only does it feel hard at the start of the run, it felt harder when I started this running goal, like just started getting into it. And this was my same experience with creating my business goals, creating my revenue in my business. It felt hard in the beginning, right? I didn't kind of know what I was doing. It felt awkward. It didn't feel comfortable, like something that I was familiar with, right? Same with the running. I was getting back into running and it felt so strange on my body. And it was like my body wasn't used to doing that kind of exercise. So if you're pursuing a new goal that you're going for, maybe you're starting a business, maybe you want to increase the revenue in your business, maybe you're doing something unrelated to business, like you want to buy an investment property or do something, enter into another avenue with money that you've never done before. And it's hard, right? It's hard in the beginning, and that's okay. So lesson 2 is environment matters. So when I've been going for these runs, like I said, at the start of the run, I run through suburbia and I'm running on concrete. I don't particularly love it, and I don't really enjoy that part of the run, and it feels harder. It's weird because the nature reserve that I enjoy running in, that part is actually physically, it's harder. Like I'm running up and down hills, across rocks. Like some of the bits I would say it's more of a shuffle because it's hard to run. Like it's slippery and it's really rocky, and I would definitely call it trail running, right? And yet that part is so much easier for me because I just love being in nature. I love being in that environment. And I just feel so much more supported to run when I'm in that environment. And to put it in the context of going for your goals, when something that's happened to me many, many times is when I'm pursuing something like my business goals, for instance, there's certain people in my life that I just can't talk to about business, but they just don't get it, right? Like certain friends or family, because they don't run a business. They're not pursuing that in their life. And it can sometimes be triggering or sort of confusing or hard to be around those people when I'm talking about something that seems so right, but they don't understand it. And they don't need to understand it, right? But you've got to be really careful about the environment that you put yourself in, not just the physical environment, but the people that you're around when you're going for your goals. Because when you put yourself in an environment that's conducive to you creating your goals, it's so much easier. And so I'll give you some real world examples of that. So you want to surround yourself with people who are doing similar things to you, what you want to do. And when you first start in business, for example, that can feel like impossible. It's like you don't even know anybody else who's doing that. It can feel very isolating and harsh being around people and being in an environment of people who aren't doing what you're doing. And what's that famous saying? You are the whatever it is, like the 5 people who are around you. I totally stuffed that up. I can't even remember what the exact saying is, but do you know the one I mean? It's like the people closest to you influence you, and you're sort of only as successful as the 5 people that you have around you in your life, something like that. And, I think there's so much merit to that, because it's so hard to create big goals when you're surrounded with people who don't understand them or have never done them. And our friends and family, although we know that they absolutely mean well, of course they do, they can't possibly understand what you're doing because they haven't done it before. And so, of course, they feel fearful for you. But the problem with that is that's not helpful. That can often hinder you rather than help you, like in their effort to be supportive of you, like, oh, no, don't invest in shares. That's really risky and scary. They're actually, not helping you progress with your investment goals, let's just say. So putting yourself in an environment where you have support and you feel supported makes such a difference. And I'm talking about physical environment, but also the people that you surround yourself with when you are going towards your goals. The third thing is get the support that you need. Man, can I tell you about this? So I'm using this running app, life changing. Holy moly, I can't even tell you. So in the past, pre-kids, was a while ago now, I used to run regularly. Now, I wasn't running marathons or anything, but, I could knock out a 5K, no trouble, right? Like just go for a 5K run after work. So I got out of the habit of running when I had kids, and I always kind of wanted to get back into it. And I call running shuffle, like my Sunday shuffle, like I go for a Sunday shuffle. And I was doing that for ages, right? But most of the time I was spending most of the time walking. I would do some running, but it felt difficult. Like I couldn't get back into it. I just couldn't get back into the habit of running, and then also actually holding the stamina to run for longer periods of time also felt really challenging. Anyway, it kind of just happened, and it's sort of funny how these things happen right when you're ready for them. But I just had this app and I was playing around in it, and I didn't realize there was this section in there where you can actually get coaching. Like you can sign up and pay for the app and have a running coach in your ear. And I tried it out. Whoa, life-changing. So now I go for runs and I'm doing a program, like a 5K running program. I have Erin, my running coach, in my ear the whole time. She tells me, she tells me when I need to change my intervals, because we've started with interval training to build up to running a 5K again so I don't have an injury. And she's so awesome. Like the whole way, she's just like, you're doing so well. And, she says affirmations to me like, you are strong, Meaghan, be strong. And, are you ready for this? Like, and then she might say a comment like, okay, I'm just going to ask you to just take it a little bit further. Like, I know it feels hard, but that's okay. Like you've earned it. That hard feeling, that sore feeling in your muscles, you've earned that. And she obviously says it way better than I do because I'm not a running coach. But do you know what? I have gone for every single run. I have not missed a run. I do not want to let Erin down. And the other thing is I just feel so supported. And the runs just feel so much easier. Like I can't believe how much easier they feel. And this is how this correlates to life and your money goals. Tell me I'm wrong, and I'd love to be wrong here, but I suspect that I'm right. Do you ever say to yourself, well, I just should be able to do it on my own, or I just should be able to do this? I mean, I should be able to just go out and do a 5K run. It's not like I haven't done it before. I've done it plenty of times. I've run in 5K races and, done that sort of stuff. It's not so, I should, I'm using quotation marks, just be able to go out and do that. But the thing is that I couldn't, and I wasn't. I had been going for runs for like my kids are 5 and 7 now. I've never got back into it. And I wanted to get back into it and it just didn't happen. And when I actually got the support to do it and have a coach, like have an experienced mentor who knows, how to inspire me to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. She's technically skilled in what to do, like in terms of technique and everything, helping me. So she's got tools and as such to help me to run. I'm now out there running 5Ks, like I'm doing it. And I could have kept struggling for years trying to get back into it. And I mean, look, some of you who are expert runners, you might be thinking, what the heck? It's only 5K. What's the big deal? But for me, it was a big deal, right? And that's the thing when it comes to your goals. They are a big deal. And our challenges, our own personal challenges are real. They're real for us. Like, okay, somebody else might be able to do what you're struggling to do with ease. Whatever, that's them, right? They've got their own challenges that they have to overcome, but it's about getting the support that you need. Like if you've got goals and dreams that you want to create and you're not creating them because you think you should be able to do it on your own, that's a big red flag. Like that's a red flag for you to be aware of, that you are actually your own saboteur. Like you are sabotaging your own success because you're not getting the help that you actually need. Like I didn't even know these kind of running apps existed. And if I did, I wish I'd known sooner because I would have signed up so much earlier than I have, because now I'm just absolutely loving going for a run and it is the best thing ever. And this is what I experience with my coach, with like business stuff or technical things when I want to work out how to do a new thing and I go and enroll in a course. Like I get the help that I need, right? Get the help that you need to create your goals. You shouldn't have to do it on your own, right? Like I should be able to do this on my own. That is toxic poison. Mate, don't ever say that again. Like get help, get support. All right. Number 4. Okay. When I'm doing the run, sometimes it feels challenging. Whew. The other day I was running. I just bought myself some new running shoes because, I'm getting back into it. Went and got myself some serious new proper running shoes. I think I did the shoelaces up too tight, or maybe my foot was just, getting used to using them. But I was getting a cramp in one of my feet. It felt so hard. This particular interval that I had to run was right in this section in the nature reserve where I go, where it's just full on rocks uphill. I've done that section just walking and I get out of breath because it's steep, right? And I'm running up there. I've got these new shoes on. My foot's cramping. It feels so hard. I so wanted to stop. But Erin's with me, like being my champion, just encouraging me. And, sometimes it feels hard, and that's okay, right? You're going to have periods of time when you're working towards your goals and it's challenging and it feels tough. But the payoff, man, it is worth it. I remember when we invested in one of the properties that we got, and things were tight, right? Like financially, things were really tight. It was really challenging for us to do that financially, to invest. And we had to make a lot of sacrifices, I guess. And when I say sacrifices, what I really mean is we just were very deliberate about what we chose to spend our money on and not spend our money on. And because we really wanted that goal of having an investment, but it was challenging, and sometimes it felt like really hard. Like, is this even worth it? Do I even want an investment property, right? But this is a long-term thing that we put in place. Like, I was thinking of my future self. I was thinking of Nana Meaghan, who is safe and secure because she set up investments for herself when she was younger that, in the moment didn't feel like anything was happening. Like, it just felt challenging. Like when I was running up that hill, it just felt challenging. It just felt hard. My foot was aching. I couldn't feel the benefit of the end of the run. When all you get that full dopamine hit, it just felt really hard. And listen, I'm not suggesting that you should thrash yourself and that you should just hustle your way to achieve your goals. No. I'm definitely an advocate for doing it easy, the path of least resistance. But even when you're following the path of least resistance and being kind to yourself, dropping the hustle, you can still face challenges, and that's okay, right? It's part of the parcel and you can handle it. So with that in mind, the final lesson that I've learned from my running coach, or from running, that I want to give to you that you can use with going for your goals is the victory lap. Celebrating your wins. I tell you what, in the first week or two of doing this running program, when I got to the end of the run, man, I felt like $1 million. I just felt so damn good because it had been something that I'd wanted to get back into for so long and I just hadn't done it. And so doing it, I was just so proud of myself. And we can kind of quickly sweep over our achievements, don't you think? Do you do that? I'm certainly guilty of it. But in this particular instance with the running, I usually finish the run when I'm still about maybe half a kilometre from home. And so that last little half a kilometre walk back home, I pump up the music. I usually play something. There's this new song out by Lizzo, and I'm not sure if the title's called I Love You Bitch, but it's like, I love you bitch. Oh man, I'm not really a fan of that word bitch, but I love that song so much. And I pump that song at the end when I've done the run because I'm just like, yes, Meaghan, I love you. You did it. And I just really enjoy and celebrate what I just did, what I just achieved. And to relate this to real life, celebrating your achievements, big and small, is so important. You know, when I get my clients when I first get my clients on the call with me, we usually start with celebration. Like, what can we celebrate this week? Because our brain can just be such a dick sometimes, right? Like, we think about the next thing. We just move on to the next thing. It's like we achieve something really great in our life and then we're like, oh yeah. And then we just 2 seconds later we're on to the next thing. And then we forget that we went through that we even once what we just achieved, we'd never achieved before. You know, I'm guessing that probably once I've smashed out this 5K goal, that I'll be on to a 10K goal, right? And I'll just be thinking about the 10K goal, and then suddenly the 5K will just be normal and I'll be doing that all the time. But this is what we do, you know. We start a business and we just think, oh, if I just get my first client. And then you get your first client. And then it's like, oh, I just want to be able to, you know, get new clients regularly. And then suddenly you're getting new clients regularly, but you forget about that time when you didn't have any clients. So it's so important to celebrate and make a point of writing it down. Something I do at the end of every week, because I write down I write down little intentions for myself every week. And so I stay focused, because I find it really easy to get distracted. And at the end of the week, I look at what I wrote down, what I wanted to achieve for the week, and then I always have like a little mini celebration. I actually have an appointment at the end of each week with my business accountability buddy. So we usually like share our wins, but if I don't meet up with her, I will share it with my coach, or I do it myself, like write down what I've done, and I have a little celebration, and maybe I'll, you know, even sometimes pop a glass of champers at the end of the week and do a puzzle or do my nails, because that's how like rock and roll I am. But it's so important to celebrate, right? Do the victory lap. Obviously, you might not be running, but when you have achieved that thing, even if it's just making that phone call to a person or sending that email, celebrate it. It's worth celebrating, and it also sets us up for more success, because we get all that dopamine hit of we've achieved something, and then it helps us create more evidence and remember, oh yeah, I am capable of these things. Oh yeah, it does feel amazing. So just in summary, those 5 lessons that I learned from my running coach are: 1, it's hard in the beginning, and that's okay. 2, environment matters. Take yourself to places where you feel supported. Surround yourself with people that you feel supported. It's so much easier to achieve your goals that way. Number 3, having a coach is like the difference sometimes between making it or breaking it, right? Get the support that you need. You deserve it, right? That can be a huge obstacle for many of us. If you haven't done it before, like investing in yourself and what you need, like getting help. I love Erin, by the way, and if she's ever listening to this, you are the best. I'm so glad you're in my ear every time I go for a run. Okay, number 4 is sometimes it's hard, and that's okay. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. That's okay, right? That doesn't mean that you're not any good at it. It doesn't mean to give up. Sometimes it's challenging. No big deal, right? That's normal. And finally, celebrate the victory lap. However that is for you, pump that music, have a little dance, ring your business bestie, talk to your coach, share it with your best friend, tell your dog, write it down in your journal, but celebrate it. It is so important. Okay, that is all I've got for you this week. Before I go though, you might have heard this before in the outro, and you will now just before it comes on. But if you want help, if you want someone in your ear, if you need help to create your money and life goals, I have a free mini course for you that I help you do that. I'm in your ear. It's a 3-day video mini course where I help you, I take you through the process to create your goals. Because sometimes in the beginning, it can just feel overwhelming, right? We've got all the ideas swirling around in our head. We don't really know how to get started. We're not sure what to tackle first. And I know that you're capable of doing it, just like I'm capable of running a 5K, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get over that hump on my own. So I want you to be able to have that support. And if you want me in your ear, go and get my free mini course. I'll put a link in the show notes. Let me help you. Let me help you take you through the process to create your money and life goals. All right. Until I'm in your ears again next week, have an amazing week. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. Ready to take the next steps? Creating your money and life goals can be super challenging if you don't have a process to follow. Get my free course that will help you get unstuck, clarify your goals, and get you going. For more info, go to meaghanjsmith.au.